Well, good afternoon, everybody. And if I don't see you later on or anything else in the world, uh, good morning, good evening, good night. So if you know, you know. But I was just watching a video with Holly about the WNBA and everything, and she makes some very valid points and everything. But I have a different viewpoint on this and everything, and yeah, it's political. I don't think that there's anybody trying to do anything about it or anything. But looking up and everything, I've watched the NBA for years. Being 61 and everything, I've seen it. I've witnessed it. And for the most people and everything, and Kevin, Michelle, people that are involved in all this stuff with YouTube, social media, and everything, they've seen it too. Um, they realize that this is a political stunt, and everybody says that sports needs to be taken out of politics needs to be taken out of sports, and I will agree because that's one of the reasons why I really don't watch sports no more. I periodically peruse. If I'm at the bar throwing darts or something, I'll, entertain looking at the game every now and then because you can't avoid it. It's always in the bar. It's always on. People are always watching it. So, but that's besides the point. But to this NBA, everything at that point, and his Kanter freedom, you know, he's been around for some time. I believe he's got like a 14-year career. His stats, are astronomical and everything. They're about average though because he was a center, and that's where the majority of his stats were. But that's besides the point. Royce White, he only played for a few years and everything. But again, one of the points that Holly made and everything was that they were trying to make a name for themselves. I just wanted to let put it out there and everything, but I don't believe that's the case personally. I think what's going on and everything, and yeah, it's a joke. It's a people are laughing about it. Some people are taking it serious. But one of the things that sports has done is they think that they want to speak on the people's behalf. Their beliefs are their beliefs, and everybody else should be, believe the same thing. No, we're all human. We're all have our own opinions, and that's just what it is. But with the thing, the what do you want to call it? The stunts that are going on as far as the WNBA and as far as Enes, you know, Kanter Freedom and Royce White. You know, I, there was a lot of things that came out and everything when Sophie Williams, all she was doing was sticking up for the young ladies, young, old, in between, whatever you want to call it. Okay, it does not matter. It's proven fact. Okay, there's only two genders. There's men and women. All right. Majority of it, if you know it, you know it, you know it. Men are stronger than women. It's been proven time and time again. And the thing is that our society and everything are pretty much, bowing down to the 1%. Just like Holly put, I don't have a problem with transgender. I don't have a problem with people being gay. Been around it all my life. Worked with them, side by side. I'm sure that I've worked in Walmart and everything. I've worked in other places since I've been out of the military. You probably in the military, you got your closet, people because they're afraid. Okay, they're afraid to come out and be open about it. But now it's out in the open, and people, most people just accept the fact. Okay, but the thing is that the problem that people have and everything with that community, which, like I said, is like 1%. That community is, pretty much trying to influence our children, influence people around them, and everything, trying to push their will. Okay, if they didn't push their will and everything would be great. People would not have a problem because everybody's got one key rule: what you do is you, and what you do in your bedroom is what you do in your bedroom. I don't care. You know, people's sexual preferences and everything shouldn't be out in the open. That's where this country is really screwed up because people think that everybody needs to know. Well, it's not the case. Not everybody needs to know, but the community and stuff that we're having the issue with uh, a lot of people claiming that they are who they are, claiming that they're transgender, but not trying to make any changes, still look like men and everything. You got a few out there that's not, but I mean, pay attention, look around you and stuff. There was a guy up here in Fairbanks, Alaska. Okay, been around for a long time. People know him very well. Made a big deal out of it when he decided in Planet Fitness to go into women's locker room and get dressed. And during my time growing up and everything, it wasn't transgender. Individuals that were like that and everything were just cross dressers. Some of them were closet cross dressers. Some of them were very, very open, very out in public. But people didn't care. They just look at you cross-eyed a little bit. But as long as you weren't pushing yourself or pushing your beliefs on me, my children, or anybody else, I don't have a problem with you. Like I said, we all breathe the same air and we all need to learn to get along. But I digress. So WNBA, during their collective bargaining agreement, come up and said that women should be women are women and women are playing in sports. Okay, and only women should be playing in sports. But they forgot to define what a woman is. And they don't want to be honest. They don't want to. They don't want to define what it is. And the reason why they don't want to define what it is because they lose ground. They lose ground on their argument. And then, everybody, I mean, what's the obvious? Okay. What the hell does the WNBA stand for? Women's National, WNBA, Women's National Basketball Association. It's a key word, women's. And the argument everybody wants to have is that, with all this back since 2020, 2021, when all these, genders started spouting out and everything, and people started saying, oh, I'm a woman or I'm a man. Most people that felt that way back in my time and everything, they went away for a little while and they came back as, somebody else because that's what they felt, their belief was. Let's take it. So Terry's always a common name. Terry, would come back as Teresa. You name it. Nobody cares. But the WNBA is supposed to be the Women's National Basketball Association. Duh. Why can't people grasp that? And the thing is, because they can't do that and everything, Freedom and Royce White decide, oh, well, I'm a woman. And that's the thing. People are just saying. People are just out there freely just claiming, oh, I'm a woman. I'm a transgender woman. They don't have to dress. They don't have to change. There should be laws and rules and everything, but there's not. And people are just accepting the fact that, they're going to call themselves women or they're going to call themselves men and get away with it. Okay? Guarantee you won't have as much push on transgender men going into men's sports because people realize that there is a difference between women and men. And now that Enes Kanter come out and actually said he was going to apply for and actually he has come out and applied for the women's NBA draft or WNBA's draft for 2027. He's already posted it. He's already had discussions about it. There's nothing in there that defines what a woman is. So again, it's catch-22. Boom, boom. Nobody's going to say anything. But he's pushing back on the subject because, and I believe all this came out because of Sophie Cunningham. And because of that and everything, they're pretty much just standing up to people saying, hey, you know, all she did was come out and say that men shouldn't be playing in women's sports. What's so hard about that? Nothing to me. And the thing is that he's trying to get the WNBA to actually define what a woman is. I mean, good God, we had a Supreme Court justice, went during her confirmation and everything. I forget what her name is. Um, I'll think about it, but everybody knows who I'm talking about. She couldn't even define what a woman is. I'm sorry, she's probably early 50s, mid 50s, woman. She's been a woman all her life, but she wants to get up and wants to play the political game and not define what a woman is. Like Holly puts it, I don't know. Yeah, Holly, she's part of my school community. I love her to death and everything, but I understand what game they're trying to play. The game is trying to get somebody to define what a woman is so that we can work on getting all this other stuff going out. Because, I'm going to tell you my personal opinion. Again, like I said, I don't care. You like it, you like it. You don't, you don't. But the thing is that the word pedo, okay, everybody knows what that is. YouTube doesn't like us using it and stuff. But, those are people who are targeting certain people. And it's not right. Okay, they're targeting our young people and everything, and yet you want to go in and they need to prove to you what they are to be truthful with you. Okay, because you can say uh you can say you're a trans woman, which is actually a man. Okay, and then be lurking around the restrooms and everything. There's a lot of articles out there on the web where people are standing up. You got pictures of certain types of people trying to go into women's restrooms, and you got people's parents or dads and stuff. It's like, no, I'm not playing your game, okay? Because we take it to heart. We look out for our children. That's what it is. So all this is just a game and everything, and it's to spark controversy. And actually, it's probably good controversy because the simple fact being, nobody out there believes what the hell is going on. Nobody out there believes that our elected officials and everything want to, back in the 2021 and everything, Biden era, wanted to call pregnant women birthing people. What the hell is that? Really? Society is just so screwed up right now. And yes, our country is divided. It's very much divided over stupid things. Okay, one side is totally against it, and the other side is just sticking up for it because, my honest opinion, to be truthful with you, the left is only putting up with this stuff, trying to give them firepower and everything to make them relevant. They're what we say, cucking. Okay, they're bowing down to the 1% of the American people who believe this. Which you're talking about the LGBTQ plus, the BLM. Okay, criminals that were led into this country. All of them have, all those people have more rights than what the average American citizen has, who was born here, raised here. Like I said, 61, been here all my life. So, you know, that's my opinion, and I think it'll, flush out and everything, and hopefully, maybe with the two stunts that Royce and Freedom are doing, we'll actually get some movement on trying to get the definition out there and holding people's feet to the fire, because they're not out there trying to make themselves relevant anymore. That's what Holly felt and everything, and love her to death now. But I don't feel the same way. I feel that people are trying to make a point, and the point is, again, men don't need to be playing in women's sports. because you know damn well women that claim to be men would never play in men's sports because they know they get their butt handed to them. They couldn't hang. So that's some of the stuff that's going on. That's the controversy. That's one of the controversies that dividing our country and everything. And I just wanted to put my 2 cents out there and agree to disagree on some of her points. I agree very much. Okay, and if I get backlash, I get backlash. I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't think I couldn't take it. So on that notice and everything, I would love everybody to look down in descriptions and everything. Kevin and them in our school community, it has it's a school for common sense methods and everything. But in our community and stuff, we talk and everything. I just found out this afternoon that we have a live video call through Google Teams and everything that we're going to have tomorrow. And so far, I've been part of this since what, March, April timeframe. And I enjoy the community because to me, it's learning. I enjoy what I'm doing. I'm actually having fun. People may not think about things, but I'm actually having fun. And if you want to come join and learn with us, hell, welcome. Come hell or high water, I'm going to make something of what I'm doing and everything. And yeah, I know that monetization is part of it and stuff, but right now I'm just having fun, and I'm working hard at it. But come join us. I'll put the link down in the descriptions and everything, and you might have a good time. I use it as therapy. I love talking to Kevin and Michelle. People like me, they like me. They don't, they don't. So with that and everything, like, comment, subscribe to the channel, share it with your network. And what I mean by network, friends, family, aunts, uncles, you name it. Your work, just get it out there. And hoping to get Mac on the move a little bigger, get more subscribers and everything. But if you like this comment, like this and every type of commentary and everything, it's just me spouting and me putting my opinion out there. Glad that y'all can come and listen and everything. But with that and everything, I want everybody to stay sharp. Keep moving, because movement keeps us young. And somewhere out there in the world, good evening, good night, and see you next time.